shifting focus, we are getting some breaking news. This is regarding the Baloch militants hijack who have hijacked a train in Pakistan. Now we're learning that security forces have rescued 104 passengers. The operation still continues. The BLA has demanded the release of Baloch prisoners and has given a deadline of 48 hours, and it has also threatened to kill the captives. So 16 terrorists have been killed so far, 100 passengers have been rescued in the Pakistan train hijack, and 450 passengers were held hostage, out of which 104 passengers have been rescued by the security forces. And security sources confirm that in an ongoing gun battle with the militants, they managed to rescue 104 passengers, including women and children. So that's the latest that's coming in as far as the Pakistan train hijack case is concerned. BLA had hijacked the train. 450 passengers were held hostage, out of which we're learning that the security forces have rescued 104 passengers. But it is pertinent to note that the BLA has demanded the release of Baloch prisoners and has also issued a deadline of 48 hours and has even threatened to kill the captives.
लाचर लगा इसको इंजन को जा रहे थे, लाचर लगा तो धुरिया हो गया, फिर फायरिंग शुरू हो गया, फायरिंग था, फिर लॉन्चर थे, ऐसे धमाके थे कि बस अल्लाह ने बचा दिया। मगर ये है कि हम बुढ़ी को उतारा, सबको उतारा नीचे, बोला उतरो नहीं तो गोलियां मारेंगे। उतर गया नीचे, फिर हमको देखा, बोला बस तुम जाओ।
So that was one of the rescued passengers from the Baloch train, which was hijacked by the BLA. And he was narrating his ordeal. But the latest that is coming in is that 104 passengers have been rescued out of the 450 passengers who were held hostage by the BLA. Now, the BLA is demanding the release of Baloch prisoners, and a deadline of 48 hours has been issued. It has also threatened to kill the captives if their demands are not met. So that's the latest that is coming in from Pakistan, where a train was hijacked by the BLA. It was traveling from Quetta to Peshawar and was hijacked by a rebel Balochistani group, the BLA. It was the Jafar Express, which had over 450 passengers on board, and it was fired upon before railway tracks were blown and the train was forced to a halt. Now, Baloch Liberation Army, which has claimed responsibility and has also kept forward its demand to release the Baloch prisoners, it warned the Pakistan government of eliminating hostage if a counter operation is launched. So that's the latest that's coming in. 104 passengers out of the 450 passengers, which includes women and children, have been rescued so far. The operation still continues. The BLA has threatened to kill the captives. It has also demanded the release of Baloch prisoners. 48 hours deadline has been issued by the BLA to release the Baloch prisoners, else they will kill the captives, is what they have threatened. Let's also listen into some other reactions.
लाचर लगा इसको इंजन को जा रहे थे, लाचर लगा तो धुरिया हो गया, फिर फायरिंग शुरू हो गया, फायरिंग था, फिर लॉन्चर थे, ऐसे धमाके थे कि बस अल्लाह ने बचा दिया। मगर ये है कि हम बुढ़ी को उतारा, सबको उतारा नीचे, बोला उतरो नहीं तो गोलियां मारेंगे। उतर गया नीचे, फिर हमको देखा, बोला बस तुम जाओ।
And my colleague Pradeep is now joining us with more details on this. Pradeep, we're learning that 104 passengers have been rescued, but BLA has threatened and has issued a deadline of 48 hours to release the prisoners, else they will kill the captives. What more details are we gathering?
See, even after 18 hours, the hostage crisis was still continuing. The claims and counterclaims from both the sides. We have seen that there had been 3 statements from Baloch Liberation Army, a rebel, and they claimed that they have killed 30 Pakistani soldiers and more than 200 are still in their captivity. And they have already given an ultimatum for about 48 hours, that within 48 hours, all those Baloch political prisoners should be released. Besides this, resistance fighters who are in their custody should also be released. Meanwhile, the Pakistan security forces are claiming that they have already already rescued 80 of the hostages, and they have killed 13 Baloch Liberation Army rebels have been killed by them, and the operation is still continuing. We saw that it was yesterday at about 9:20, the train started, Jafar Express started moving from Quetta towards Peshawar. While it was about to enter the tunnel, that was the time when Baloch Liberation Army rebel, they opened firing, in which the train driver got injured, and finally they also blew off the track and brought the train to staging halt, and they took control of the train. And since then, they have taken many of the people hostage, and they are even warning Pakistan Army that if they will continue with the operation against them, they will be left with no other option but to eliminate all the passengers who are inside the train, because most of the army personnel and paramilitary corps personnel are also traveling. This is not first time when the Baloch Liberation Army has tried to target Pakistani soldiers. We saw that in the month of November also there was a blast of the dying attack on Quetta railway station, in which 26 people died and 60 others were injured, which included 40 Pakistan Army personnel. So Baloch Liberation Army is fighting for independence of Balochistan, and they are totally against the footprints of Pakistani soldiers and Chinese soldiers in that area, because they feel that they are being treated like second-class citizens since 1947. So for the last several years,
All right, so that's the latest that is coming in from Pakistan. A shocking case of train hijack has come to the fore. 450 passengers were on board the train. It was hijacked by the Balochistan Liberation Army, who has now demanded the release of Baloch prisoners and has also issued a deadline of 48 hours. It has also threatened that if their demands are not met, they will kill the captives. And my colleague Pradeep Datta continues to stay with us to get us more details on this. Pradeep, tell us more about the Balochistan Liberation Army and about their demands, and what is the Pakistan administration thinking about? Will they be conceding to the demands?
See, right now the operation is continuing. Additional reinforcement have already been sent, and with the help of the helicopter, they have already deployed SSG commandos there. They have paradropped them, and the operation is still continuing with the help of the drone. Also, they try to carry out attack so that they can eliminate these Baloch Liberation Army rebel. But so far as BLA rebel are concerned, they had already come out with a statement giving a 48-hour ultimatum to Pakistan authorities, asking them to release all those Balochi political prisoners and also the resistance fighters in their custody. So they had given a 48 hours to them. But so far as the Pakistan administration and security forces are concerned, they don't seem to be keen with any kind of a negotiation, though the back channel negotiation to some extent is going on. But still, they want to continue with the operation and want to kill all the Baloch Liberation Army rebels. That's what they are planning to do. But right now the situation continues to remain grim, because already we have heard that how the eyewitnesses were narrating the story of horror, that while the train was about to enter the tunnel, that was the time when Baloch Liberation Army rebel who were carrying with them RPG and also guns, they opened fire, because of which the train driver got injured, and finally train came to screeching halt, and they also blew off the railway track. After that they took control of the train, and since then the hostage crisis is continuing. But Pakistan administration claims, security forces claim that they have already rescued 80 of those people who were in their captivity, and 13 of the BLA fighters have been killed. But so far BLA has claimed that not a single person from their side has been killed by Pakistani forces, and instead they are claiming that 30 Pakistani soldiers have been killed. But the situation will get cleared once the operation will be over. But right now all I can say is that even after 18 hours the hostage crisis continuing. This is the worst ever hostage crisis so far as Pakistan is concerned, and I think somewhere Pakistan is tasting its own medicine, because what they had been doing on the Indian side, now they are facing a similar kind of a situation. Rightly said by Hillary Clinton, if you are going to feed snakes in your backyard, don't think that they are only going to bite your neighbor. They can come and bite you too, and exactly that is happening. The karma is catching up with them too, because people here in India, they are reminded of what really happened during Kandahar hijacking, how the aircraft was hijacked from Nepal and taken to Kandahar, and how the terrorists were released, like Masood Azhar, who still continues to unleash terror-related activities on the Indian side of the border. So now the same thing is happening, because if you're going to, it's like a Frankenstein monster, and now Frankenstein monster is targeting you. That's what exactly is happening. So the Baloch Liberation Army, they're fighting for independence of Balochistan, because they feel that Balochistan is being treated like a second-class, Balochis are being treated like second-class citizens. So there is a complete discrimination already. There had been several cases cases of rape, disappearances, and so they are fighting for this thing, and they're also against the exploitation of their resources like gas and mineral resources. They feel that not a single person from the Balochistan had been benefited, and they're also against the footprints of the Chinese soldiers and the Chinese people who are busy construction.
Right.
China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and Gadar Port also, so they are against that. So recently they had a meeting. In that meeting
All
they
right.
discussed that they will come under one umbrella and they will continue to fight against Pakistan Army, and that's why we have seen the recent escalation against Pakistan Army, and many of them had already been targeted and killed in recent past.
All right, Pradeep, thank you for getting us all those details. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates on this. As of now, we're slipping into a very short break. We'll be right back with more stories on the other side. Stay with us.